Hi, I'm Pat Downey. I'm addicted to everything. Drinking, gambling, women, smoking, sniffing, you name it. So it's I can't do anything in moderation.
Better move out the way, 'cause I'm coming with hard it hits. My head is as hard as a brick, but I'm harder than all it is.
People call me
the black sheep.
He likes playing the villain.
Better move, you might get knocked out.
Sheesh.
He breaks all the rules.
I don't know about all that, but I'll take it.
You don't know what he's gonna do, or you don't know what he's gonna say.
He's definitely a shit talker.
He's a wild card who has a bunch of different sides of him.
There's also a mental attitude. Either way, you're definitely enthralled with whatever Pat Downey is doing.
What happened to your lip?
What happened to the lip, right? The pleasure of owning a pit bull. He won. He got this round.
Pat Downey is somebody who calls it like he sees it. He's real. He's as real as it gets. And some people like that, some people don't.
You know, they call me wasted talent, but like, look at all I've accomplished. I'm a Team USA World Team Constituent, US Open Champion, NCAA Division I All-American, IBJJF Grappling World Champ. So it's amazing I've accomplished some of the things I have while kicking my own ass, if you will. No, it's not like I have any safe sport violations. I still can get a USA Wrestling card today. My membership might have expired, but I've never evaded a call or never failed a USADA drug test, you know, cough, Penn State. Like, I've never done any of these things that are way worse than tweeting, but yet the people that do way worse things than me face zero ramifications.
He wants his opinion out there. He wants to stir the shit.
Yeah, I might say things that others aren't willing to.
He is one of those guys that is purposely misunderstood. When people actually do know him, for him, they're gonna get the real him. That's the people that I believe he's close to. Everybody else is just an extra in his movie.
I stopped caring about trying to prove people wrong a long time ago. I left that in Baltimore, I left that in my childhood. Northeast Baltimore, it's not quite like The Wire, West Baltimore. It's just funny traveling the country, even just people's reaction, even down south, they're like, they hear you're from Baltimore, they're like, oh no, you poor soul. But it has that reputation for a reason. I don't know if it still is, but at the time there was one of the top 5 murder per capita of the nation. We don't pick and choose our circumstances, but we play the hand the best we may. I went through 6, 7 middle school, elementary schools, and then 4 different high schools. You know, got diagnosed ADD, ADHD, and they tried medding me up, and I didn't like taking medicines, and it was just constant battle. Looking back on it, I feel bad for my mother. But, you know, I don't think it was that I had to wrestle. I was good at other sports, but you had to do something in my family, you know. Getting in trouble, being on the street just wasn't an option. Thank God, because a lot of my friends are dead or in jail, you know, so I always say the sports saved my life. My father, my Uncle Dave, he's one of my first coaches, and John Rollo, that owns ground control in Baltimore. It's a bunch of local tough kids, and I just fit in there. You know, it was like my sanctuary. It was one of my punishments. If I would mess up in class or school, I wasn't allowed to go to practice. That's how much I loved it. You know, I would cry when practice ended. My grandfather and father did a great job making sure I was able to expand the fishbowl, if you will, like get out of the state, constantly find people to beat me. So I kept evolving, helped me not to plateau, like guy who peaks in high school type guy. You know, I kept getting a lot better. And I was always a 3-sport athlete throughout high school, football, wrestling, lacrosse, but I always think I knew I was gonna take wrestling the furthest. It's amazing I accomplished what I did. I got a few degrees and I became an All-American, but with my talent and the amount of NCAA champs I've beaten, I still consider my college career a total failure. Definitely could have played those cards differently.
So do you regret that?
Yeah. And looking back in hindsight, if I was like a manager of myself, I would bite the bullet and avoid all those distractions. I graduated Iowa State 2015 and Iowa 2016, 2017, and then in 2018, I make the world team. And fast forward, COVID hits, The Olympic trials are postponed, and we get this match on Flow main event, and I have all these stipulations in my contract about things I can't say. I'm like, okay, this sucks. Like, you guys are just killing my amendment rights. Like, how can I speak my mind? So then certain women on the card were saying that they wanted the same pay, and I'm like explaining to them how revenue generation works, and I'm using the WNBA as a model and saying you get paid based what promotion feels you're valued at. It's not, I'm not the one determining who's getting cut what checks. And you can't tweet your way onto a world team, but you can somehow tweet your way off of it. It's just silly to me.
Pat Downey has a lot to prove to himself. I know that one of the biggest regrets that he had in his career is getting kicked off, not being able to wrestle with Cael Sanderson, and not being able to be a part of these teams that he had worked so hard to get to.
I got put off of that match. I got put off of Team USA. I lost my insurance. I lost my stipend. I lost my housing, everything. It was about a $150,000 pay cut overnight for some tweets. So that really forced my hand into the MMA after really not training ever. I went and fought Bellator a couple times. And then that opened this whole new grappling path for me. So, it's a crazy journey, but quite literally one door closes, the next door opens. Every time I've had a setback, even my family might overreact in my opinion. I'm like, oh, this is a minor setback. Oh, Hakuna Matata, no worries. That's just my grandfather in me. His attitude is never give up.
Real American Freestyle is giving an opportunity to Pat Downey to compete against the best wrestler in your division, Jake Varner. And you can either sink or swim.
Who's Jake Varner? A couple-time national champ for Iowa State. We have the same alma mater, Olympic champ. Head coach of the Nittany Lion Wrestling Club. Yeah, he's a pretty tough guy. Yeah, big, strong. Let's not gas him up too much.
He has everything to prove to himself that I am who I say I am, and I can climb up from the depths. I can still get my hand raised at the highest level, especially against a guy like Jake Varner, who has such a career and such a gigantic list of accolades that he's been able to achieve.
You got to think about the fact that Jake Varner is now a coach and Pat Downey is now a jiu-jitsu guy, right?
Varner hasn't wrestled quite a bit too. I bet he's thinking a lot of the same things. Like, hey, where do I stand? And I know he's in the best room in America, so he's got a little advantage there at Penn State, and especially being the matches at Penn State. But I'm sure he's nervous too. People know what I'm capable of, so I can speak my mind, but I'm also going to let my wrestling do the talking. And I throw people in their heads. I do exciting, explosive stuff, so I think they're going to see some fireworks.
Tickets are available now. Go to Ticketmaster.com for details.